If you have 20 minutes to spare to do some painting, then one thing you might try is a 20-minute timer and a two-color painting. Hi, my name's Sarah, and today I'm going to show you a fun little brain break activity when you don't have time to do a full planned painting, but you just want to do something creative and something new. In this video, I'm going to blindly choose two of my watercolor paints and set a timer for 20 minutes and see what I can come up with. This is not a tutorial, although I might talk a little bit about my process, but I want you to see what I can come up with just two colors and a short time to paint. Okay, let's do this. All right, I know you can't see my face right now, but I pinky promise that I am staring at the ceiling right now. Okay, paint number 1 is chosen. Paint number 2 will go there. Okay, that is it. Let's see what we came up with. Okay, we have lunar blue and we have burnt sienna. Okay, I am not super familiar with this brown. I usually mix my own browns, but that is pretty. Okay. The lunar blue is going to be super interesting with this. Lunar blue granulates a lot, which I'm going to show you when I do this painting. It is a super cool effect, but I have no idea what we're going to do here. We have the blue on one end and the sienna on the other, and they mix together to make this kind of gray brown. That might be useful for a landscape. I mean, classic me, I want to do a landscape. That's actually kind of pretty. I would never have put these colors together. Okay, there is my timer. We are ready to get painting. I know this video is not 20 minutes long, which might look like I'm cheating, but I am not. I just sped up the actual painting portion. I love painting mountains. The lunar blue I haven't used to paint mountains in a long, long time. I want to vary up how much I use kind of drier paint and then add a lot of water so that you can kind of see that granulation is so beautiful. I don't think I'm going to put a sky in this one. We might just leave it white. Maybe I'll add one at the end, but I might just like the plain white sky. These colors are blending actually really beautifully together, and that kind of browny gray that they mix together with feels almost like I have a third color to work with. This is super fun and exploratory way of painting. I don't have time to fuss and fiddle. I'm using a lot of dry brush, just kind of bringing down both of those colors into this mountain kind of valley. I'll see what I do on this foreground, but this is beautiful already. Because this isn't a full tutorial, I think I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey with watercolor. I grew up in a very creative family. Our motto, we jokingly say, is I can probably make that. You know, why buy a coffee table when you can probably just make it yourself? So I really benefited from growing up in a super creative family, but I also grew up not really thinking of myself as artistic. I kind of decided on these labels early on and then decided that's the way I am. And so I would say, like, yeah, I'm crafty. I like doing crafts, but I'm not artistic. Like, I can't draw and paint. And then that was that. That was decided. And so I moved with my husband from Michigan to Washington in 2015 and basically went from having a really strong community to having no community in person. And that was super hard. So I had to fill my time somehow. Those colors are blending so beautifully. The lunar blue, you get this variation of super dark all the way to like this lighter blue. Wow. Love that. So I bought some brush pens And I was kind of into the hand lettering scene. And I saw some videos of using brush pens and water to almost do this kind of cheat watercolor. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Let me try this. And it was cute and it was fun. And I started to think, what do I have to lose? I could just try watercolor. And I watched every YouTube video on planet Earth, looked at a bunch of Pinterest pictures, and just tried to emulate and tried to mimic what I saw. I did these landscapes and I was like, what the hell? Like, that's a painting. What? And as I learned and as I grew, I realized that label of, oh, I can do crafts, but I'm not really artistic, just wasn't accurate anymore. Watercolor has been so meaningful for me, just as a way even to show myself that I can decide my own labels. We all have to make decisions in our lives about how we're going to spend our time, and there are infinite ways we could decide to do that. And we're not morally obligated to become experts in anything. I enjoy working out by doing dance videos in my living room, and I am not a good dancer, and that doesn't matter. I can still have fun and do it. I don't need to be an expert watercolor painter necessarily in order to enjoy it and have fun. But we also have this amazing ability to learn skills and to develop our skills and to get better. And some people decide to spend their precious time becoming really good at dancing or a sport or a reader or a friend or a parent or multiple of these things. And I like spending my time getting better at watercolor. And as someone who had decided that I wasn't artistic, I just don't have that talent. I now see that from the other side as being a little bit of BS. Like, I do think genetics and environment might play a role in what we're drawn to and what we have natural inclinations for, maybe. But really, when I show people my paintings and they say, oh, I could never do that, I can barely draw a stick figure. Like, these are skills that can be learned. If you don't want to, if you don't have the time or money or interest, I'm never going to press you on that, to challenge that. But if the reason you don't try something like painting or like dancing or like anything is because you decide that you're not artistic or coordinated or whatever it is, I don't know. As a fellow not artistic labeler, I don't know about all that. I think you can decide to learn whatever you want. Our brains are pretty spectacular. We can learn skills. I fully believe now that if I wanted to, I could become a really good dancer. I'm not a really good dancer. I'm not even a good dancer. And I don't really feel like spending my time becoming really, really good at dancing. If it's not how I choose to spend my time and energy, that's one thing. But it's not because I don't think I could ultimately do it. Maybe not be the best in the world, maybe not do it professionally, but I could become someone who labels themselves a dancer. So I guess what I ultimately want to say is I hope that people can know that they can grow their brains and grow their skills in the things they want to devote their time to. And you don't have to live into this label of not being this way or being that way, that it is a lot more flexible than that. It's something that took me many years to unlearn, and I continue to fall into this habit of deciding these labels and then making decisions to live into them when they might not actually be accurate anymore. So let's finish this up and take a look. And that's time. We did it. I want to show you this painting close up. It turned out really beautiful. I actually think there's a lot of variation in color just with these two. I'm going to use my knife to take this off the block and give you a little tour. All right. Take a look at this granulation. That's where the pigments in the paint kind of separate and you get this texture. And for this one, sometimes it's almost like elephant skin on this lunar blue. I just think that's gorgeous. What two colors would you choose for a two-color painting like this? If you try this out, what colors did you select? What did you find out about those two colors? I would love to know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.